So for more insight, we now welcome Ariel Cohen, Senior Fellow at the Atlantic Council and founder of the International Market Analysis Organization, joining us from Washington, D.C. Thank you so much for your time. Of course, Russia has been one of Syria's closest allies for decades now. Vladimir Putin was a major backer of Bashar al-Assad, but now the man who ousted the longtime dictator is at the helm. So what do you make of Putin's attempt to cement ties with the new leader?
This is a classic realpolitik. Countries don't have permanent friends, they have permanent interest. Russian interest is to have naval bases in the Mediterranean. Since the times of Catherine the Great in the second half of the 18th century, the Russian Navy tried to establish itself, mostly unsuccessfully, in the Mediterranean. Syria has been the Russian foothold in the Levant, in the Sham, as they say in Arabic, Eastern Mediterranean, for decades. Syria, on the other hand, doesn't want to be fully dependent on Turkey, on Qatar, and on the United States. I'm sure there's a lot of people in Washington who are not happy with this talk about Russia continuing to exploit their bases in Hmeimim, the air base, and in Latakia for the Russian Navy. We shall see. After the Ukraine war, after Ukraine destroyed a big chunk of the Black Sea fleet, and the Mediterranean squadron is a part of the Black Sea, can Russia really deploy meaningful assets in the Mediterranean? But my rule of thumb is, from being a lifelong student and observer of Russia and the Russian military power, never underestimate the Kremlin.
Never underestimate the Kremlin, and certainly remarkable images there, the footage of these two leaders inside the Kremlin. The optics are fascinating. And of course, we know Bashar al-Assad fled for Moscow when those rebels descended on Syria. Isn't he believed to still be there? And what do these meetings in the Kremlin mean for the longtime dictator? Your thoughts?
I would be very, very nervous if I was Bashar. I would consider relocating maybe to Tehran or some other place, maybe Pyongyang, because he was poisoned. There were credible reports that Bashar was poisoned, and maybe this was the way to get him out of the way, or he would go meet Sir Isaac Newton, meaning he'll fall out of the window and experience the power of gravity. That didn't happen. But I think al-Sharaa, by putting his cards on the table and demanding the extradition of Bashar back to Syria to stand trial, maybe he is putting Putin at a place that Putin is not comfortable with, because Putin took pride of protecting assets. Those who worked for Russia, be it American defectors like Snowden, be it former pro-Russian presidents of Kyrgyzstan or Ukraine, like Yanukovych. So I don't think Putin will be very comfortable packaging, wrapping Assad up, putting him on a plane to Damascus. On the other hand, if he really, really wants these military bases, bad things can happen to Bashar Assad in Moscow.
Very briefly, we only have 30 seconds left. If Israel is watching these images, how worried should it be about these meetings underway as we speak? Briefly, please.
Israel should always be worried about its security, and especially as Turkey and Russia, two countries that are not great friends of Israel, are strengthening their position in Syria, as Qatar, also not a friend of Israel, is bankrolling al-Sharaa. Israel should be very worried and do all steps necessary, including talking to al-Sharaa directly and telling al-Sharaa, we can cut a deal if you stick to a deal. Right. On the other hand, we all know what a deal with an Islamist mean these days in the Middle East.
Ariel Cohen, live from DC. Thank you so much, as always.